Yo, you know what's crazy?
Stop.
That little internet blip where I popped out.
Yeah.
Fucking stopped the YouTube stream. We back in
Yeah.
there. I have no idea how much of it we missed, and I really don't care. Because that was the first game we really started to talk about this week was the Cleveland one. But
Yeah.
that's crazy I have no.
Yeah, 'cause I was about to say, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Because it made me the host for a second.
Yeah,
So,
how can the host blip out? That's fucking weird.
yeah. No, you were having a little little connectivity issue.
Well, that's the Brooklyn way. I'm not gonna lie. The internet in Brooklyn does fucking suck. So, what the fuck is Philly gonna do? What are they realistically? Where do they go from here?
Well, here's what I say. Philly with that current coaching staff and some of those players won a Super Bowl. Carson didn't win that Super Bowl for them. Could he win one? Not the way he's playing now. So who do I have confidence in? I have more confidence in the coaching staff in order so far because also they have found these other players and they have, who knew about Boston Scott before this? You had Miles Sanders go down, Boston Scott's making plays. You have Alshon Jeffrey, who's barely played this entire year, and you had your rookie Rager, who was out most of the year. Now you had Fulgham, and you had Greg Ward. They've been making plays. Goddard has been out. You just had guys out, and the other guys just stepped in and made plays. The guy who you can argue made the least amount of plays, especially offensively, is your quarterback.
Also, there's another person on that team that is doing absolutely nothing this year, and I do not understand why Zach Ertz has disappeared 100% from their offense.
Yeah, gone. You see, I mentioned Goddard. I didn't even mention Ertz because Ertz been on the milk carton. So
yeah, I don't know what happened there, but right before the trade deadline, he was a name that was flying around because he is extremely unhappy with his current role in Doug Peterson's offense, and now you see the way Indianapolis is playing and the way Philly used to play, the Frank Reich effect.
Yeah.
And was it really Doug Peterson or was it Frank Reich? It's looking like it was more like Frank Reich because imagine if in the alternate universe when Tom Brady went and sat with Indianapolis and they said, "No, we're good. We're going to go with Phillip Rivers," because this actually happened. Had Indy accepted Tom Brady would have been playing on that team that is built more like a New England team.
Like a New England squad.
Yeah. So that would have been incredible because Tom Brady is not throwing 7 interceptions a game like Phillip Rivers does.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're working in the middle of the field. They're getting the ball to the running backs. They have a 3-headed monster running back. Monster. They have a 3-headed committee.
That defense, it's all about that. It's all about that defense, though.
The defense is great.
Yeah.
Listen, we're not even. When's the last time anyone's mentioned T.Y. Hilton's name?
It doesn't even exist this year.
I haven't even heard it in 2020. To be honest with you. You talk about the running game. We talk about tight ends.
Nah, but your guy, Carey, is starting to ball though.
He is. And I wanted him for the G's. Michael Pittman Jr. He's starting to come through. I told you about him. Watch. Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be a name you hear in this league.
Well, there's also that other receiver that they use, and that just goes to show you. I think that's more of Phillip Rivers' nature is to go to bigger receivers because he always had Vincent Jackson and just a list of 6'3" and up receivers.
6'5". Yeah, man, it was Vincent Jackson and the other tall ass receiver who would always get hurt.
It was Ty Williams.
Yep. There it is. Ty Williams.
And then they moved on and they got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And that's just San Diego's thing is to always have these big giant receivers. And that's what Phillip Rivers likes for some reason. So you look at who he's now utilizing in Indianapolis. Michael Pittman Jr. is getting busy. That's a big fucking dude. And who he's actually been using, and it's weird, it's that Pascal kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pascal. Yeah,
He's been using
yeah.
Pascal, and then there's another. I think there's some receiver from Ohio State that's also on their squad that's really tall and skinny. And now T.Y. Hilton's not a factor because Phillip Rivers has never really utilized small receivers.
I haven't even
Yeah.
heard his name.
Yeah.
So crazy. Haven't even heard his name. T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that until you said that, Kerry. He's never really utilized small receiver. He's like the anti-Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's
He
weird.
he never uses small receivers. There's always, like you said, it's always big guys.
And then their running backs have always been, I'm going to hand you the ball and you're going to get busy. It's never really been James White scenario where somebody's catching the ball out of the backfield or Le'Veon Bell who's going to slide into the slot and run routes himself, you know.
Yeah, because you had Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry, Le'Veon. You had LaDainian. Then you had Michael Burner Turner.
Yeah.
And then you had Aaron Sproles.
Yeah.
So he's always had little running backs who could get busy, and you could just press the B button, and they do spinoramas. But I mean, look at who his tight end was, Antonio Gates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always all right. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I would use T.Y. Hilton. You're a fucking retard if you don't Phillip Rivers. But now I understand why he's faded because that's not really what Phillip Rivers does.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's an interesting side note on that. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Taysom Hill because every fantasy player on the planet had Taysom Hill as their X or as their flex because FanDuel had him listed as a flex and not a quarterback. So you got to, well, but everybody did it. So that's like every single person did it. So like it negated everyone across the board.
It didn't even matter.
It didn't even fucking matter, dude. I went and checked every single person's thing and they all did it. I was like, of course they did. These people do this shit professionally. Of course they do this shit. But, so what is New Orleans going to do? What are they going to do? Because that team is actually built more for Taysom Hill than it is for Drew Brees right now.
Yeah. I was about to say that. They might as well flip the switch. Go on ahead and flip the switch. I mean, Drew Brees is on his down years anyway. He's completely banged up. He's completely fucked up. I mean, he has collapsed lungs and all kind of things going on.
Multiple broken ribs.
Yeah, it's over, man. Like this was. I mean, we said it all along on this podcast. This is his last year. This is his last season. Go ahead and flip that switch and give it to Taysom Hill, man, because Taysom Hill is younger. He's more of a dual threat.
Here's the funny thing, though, Nice. He's 30 years old. He's not that much younger.
Yeah, because he's a Mormon. He had to do that little pilgrimage that they do for 3 years.
Yeah, but he's pretty tough, and he's a dual threat, and he can throw the ball. You know, so I mean, just go ahead and flip the switch.
Well, I mean, they're built for it because even their best offensive player, not named Alvin Kamara, is Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas is not running past 8 to 12 yards on any of his routes. So you're looking at he's not going to have to push the ball down the field. They don't, and then they got Jared Cook running around to work the seams and whatnot. And then you literally just give it to this guy. Whatever his jersey number is, I believe it's 43. Give it to him that many times a game. 41. Give it to him 41 times a game somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
and then play defense because their defense is really playing well right now.
Yeah.
Big return was Davenport. Getting Davenport back was huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Well, also you're looking at, what I think is the most critical part in today's NFL, outside of somebody who can get a pass rush on their own, is a shutdown corner. Yeah. Do you have somebody that can at least limit somebody from getting 140 yards and 2 touchdowns? Lattimore is balling right now. So
he's definitely balling right now.
But I would say this:
Marcus Williams is balling as well.
Because I feel like we're going 80 in the school zone on Drew Brees. I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit. Because first and foremost, nobody wants to go out like that.
No, he won't.
So, and also, no one can convince me that New Orleans is going to Joe Montana Drew Brees the way San Francisco, Joe Montana.
No, you can't, because
He
Drew
needs
Brees
that.
is too important to the city. You couldn't do that to him.
Way too
Yeah,
important
yeah,
to New Orleans.
yeah.
Like, he becomes your quarterback. You have Katrina. He brings you a chip after
Yeah.
Katrina. This dude is minted. He's sainted, literally
Yeah.
sainted in New Orleans. They can't do him like that. So they're gonna have a conversation with him, like, hey Drew, so listen, what are we thinking here? So I think with this injury kind of changes things. Yeah, 11 cracked ribs or whatever and collapsed lung. We're also talking about Drew Brees, who was told he will never throw a football after his arm was like this. He's not going to quit after this year. He's going to definitely come back. So now, I mean, so the question is, you have a conversation with both of them. They've been, for the most part, almost splitting time. Like, you know, Taysom Hill's been getting in a lot.
Yeah.
Does he want to just solely play quarterback? Yeah, okay. But you also realize you have a future Hall of Famer in front of you, and you never were even as highly touted as the other quarterback on your team. So you could chill if you're Taysom Hill. You're still getting busy. You're getting way more busy than Jameis is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
You see
mean,
that?
he should actually chill, because without Sean Payton's vision, Taysom Hill doesn't even exist in the NFL.
He's not even in the league.
Yeah.
It's what that's what I'm saying. You only need one person, the right person, to believe in you. You don't need millions to believe in you. Just the one right person. And he has the one right person. So chill. Like, just play your position, chill. If Drew wants to come back another season, let him come back. Because guess what? That's still less hits on you in the long run.
Yeah.
And then if you end up taking over, okay. At this point, they would have built even more, gotten more out of the draft, maybe. And so they can tailor the offense to you.
Maybe, but nice. I can guarantee you that Drew Brees does not want to be Nick Foles. He doesn't want Taysom Hill to go on a playoff run and possibly win a ring with a team that is good enough to win around Taysom Hill. It won't be because of Taysom Hill that they're going to win.
He brings a kind of spark and energy. I mean, if you see that game, the players were energized with Taysom Hill.
I just don't see any team in the NFC right now that could actually beat them, because they've already thumped Tampa Bay twice. And I know it's really hard to beat a team 3 times, but they really beat them. It wasn't even like competitive. So
well, it's just the things that they do. It's the things that they do.
I mean, maybe Green Bay, but Green Bay's defense is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also you would think that Aaron Jones would be back for that game, and if Green Bay was smart, do exactly what fucking LA did. You see, LA has problems. I mean, you see, Tampa Bay has problems when it comes to defending the pass. So look at what you have. Like, what you have? I would have, who's stopping Freeman? Adams, Devontae Adams.
Nobody.
You have Lazard is back. Aaron Jones he's basically turned himself into a slot receiver. Also, he's that nice.
And then they got MVS, who could really run, even though he
can. We've seen that he is a runner. The scandalous one.
And Aaron Rodgers does like his tight end, Tunyon. Yeah, he likes that guy. Well, I just think Aaron Rodgers is just using whatever's fucking around him. Who, Tunyon? Yeah, whatever. I'll throw it to him if he's whatever.
He does. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like we can barely name players that Aaron Rodgers has thrown to in his career. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, so you don't need. There's certain players who need.
Yeah.
Tom Brady never needed Randy Moss. He loved having Randy Moss, and you saw where his numbers went when he had a Randy Moss. He never needed a Randy
Moss. I will counter that with say that I will counter and say that Aaron Rodgers does need Devontae Adams.
Yes.
So take Devontae Adams out of that offense, and now you slide MVS over to 1, and then you got Lazard at 2.
No, Lazard would be the number 1.
Well, just look how terrible their offense would be, because Devontae is going to be a first-team All-Pro receiver this year, as he should be. Him and Hopkins easily got those locked up. It's whatever.
Easily. Not even a debate about
and
that.
And you guys both know that it's not even the just the on-field production that you get from Devontae Adams, because this season you're guaranteed 90 yards and a touchdown at minimum. It's happening every week. It's the defense has to focus so much attention on this one individual. It allows you to actually work with these bums around you. You got one-on-ones around you, so they might win one. Somebody might fall down or something. Fuck it, you know.
Yep. Devontae Adams, man, he runs such precise routes. It's ridiculous, man.
I have to also say Jamal Williams, their backup running back, he's been playing a lot better. He saw what Aaron Jones did last year, and he was like, "Oh shit!" If I want to keep up my backup spot, I need to change some things.
I just know you can clearly see it this season. Like, offense is dominating completely across the board, but the elite teams, the few teams that you're like, well, they're going to be in the hunt for a Super Bowl, they also have a defense, and Green Bay does not.
Yeah, right. Which and see, this could easily trip them up. A team like Chicago, right, who has a Super Bowl, a championship defense, but their offense is hamstringing them with terrible quarterback play and awful line play, and I mean, it's hard to put it on the running backs and the receivers when they barely get an opportunity because the line is so terrible. You got a player in Allen Robinson. You know you have a player there, but I mean, it even hurts the development of Anthony. Who's the other receiver? Anthony, what's his name? Right, exactly. Anthony Miller.
Yeah,
Anthony Miller.
That's nicest guy.
It hurts his development because Anthony Miller coming out of college was nice, and he's had flashes in the league, but he's had terrible quarterbacks.
The worst quarterback situation.
Bad. Like Allen Robinson was already established in the league, and he already came from playing with a terrible quarterback in Blake Bortles, and so I mean, I know he's just like, what did I do, Lord? Why? Why me? But Chicago has a Super Bowl ready defense.
Yeah,
they just don't have the offense.
But you're right, though. That would be a huge trap game for a team like Green Bay.
It would be a huge trap game.
If they could limit Devontae Adams to like 80 yards and no trips to the end zone, and then Aaron Rodgers, uncharacteristically, he's thrown a few picks this year, a couple bad throws because he has to force some things. And on that Green Bay team, a lot of fumbles this year. A lot of fumbles.
Absolutely.
A lot of fumbles.
I mean, even look at what the Vikings did to him when they got their chef back.
Yeah.
Cook came back and it was Rap City. He had 4 touchdowns on him.
He had 260 yards of total offense. It was retarded.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They have not only
Minnesota's defense is bad.
Yeah, not only do they not have a defense, they are particularly bad against the run, which in the playoffs is never a good sign. So I don't trust them in the playoffs at all.
But Aaron Rodgers also said the most fair dude that he's scared to play against the most is Smith from the Vikings, the safety from the Vikings.
Smith?
Yeah. He said he's so crafty. They put him everywhere. So many disguises, he can't figure it out. He said, and that was crazy that Aaron Rodgers would say something like that. Like, I was really shocked when he said
G
that.
shit though. That's G.
Yeah, no, Aaron Rodgers. That's why I love watching Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays on the Pat McAfee show, because Aaron Rodgers is an extremely honest and candid individual, and it's pretty dope. And it was funny because he said that Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football because he's known him since he was pre-draft, right? Because, he came and visited the Packers. He met him. He's a really stand-up dude and all that shit. And Darius Leonard took some exception to that statement and kind of took it personal. Well, Aaron Rodgers said, well, I've never played the Colts before. Like, so I don't know. I have no judgment. But you see what that little bit of bulletin board material does, because Darius Leonard
doesn't need much either because he's a monster.
He doesn't need much, but now you're looking at what is now probably going to be the defensive player of the year, because it's looking like it's just going to be the best player on the best defense of a team that made the playoffs, pretty much, like Gilmore was last year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because there really wasn't anybody emerging, there's nobody who's like blowing away the league with sacks or anything like that. And you can give it to Aaron Donald every single fucking year. It doesn't matter. He's got the Michael Jordan effect.
He's basically the Shaq.
Yeah,
of the NFL
like
right now.
Yeah.
so it's looking like Darius Leonard. If they keep that up, because Green Bay's offense is really good, and the defense did win that game for them.
Yeah.
And Xavier Rhodes, man, Xavier Rhodes, big
Good,
pickup.
Good for him. I always liked him.
Yeah.
So good. And they were
Very-
trashing him in Minnesota. I was like,
Yeah.
listen, you're not just that good, and then all of a sudden you're that terrible the next year.
Yeah, you
So,
just don't fall off like that.
Yeah.
You just
yeah.
don't, no.
Yeah. Very physical.
Cliff
cool,
ain't that damn steep. I'm sorry.
Physical
So I was
size,
like, there's
everything.
something else going on. And then you watch these games and you see him. You're like, oh, Rhodes is doing his thing. So what
Mhm.
was it in Minnesota? Who else did they lose? Diggs? What's
Mhm.
going on in Minnesota? They're
Yeah.
just getting rid of people getting hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
And Danielle don't want to hunt no more.
Interesting, but that was a huge pickup for them because he's played at his former capabilities, and that's huge because, you know, like I always say, you got somebody that can at least battle with the number one receiver, because in today's NFL, the receiver's going to win. It doesn't matter. It's built for them to win.
Yeah.
Just can you battle with them? Can
Yeah,
you make them try to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The Colts have that dangerous no-name defense where, unless you're a football head, not many people know about Darius Leonard and how dope he is. They also got-
Let me.
they also got Justin Houston.
That's another
You know what I'm
side, but nice. This is a interesting fact about Darius Leonard. Last year, he makes first team All Pro, but does not make the Pro Bowl. That's how little everyone knows about him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How you make first team All Pro? First team. That means you're the best at your position in the league, voted by your peers and coaches, and you don't even make the fucking Pro Bowl.
And
Yeah.
he came in doing this as a rookie.
Yeah.
He came in wrecking shop.
Yeah.
Wrecking shop.
Yeah.
Undersized, but he is now the modern day NFL linebacker because you're going to have to be able to run like that nowadays.
Yeah. 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 Him and White.
Which makes Fred Warner so dangerous.
White and Devin Bush, who got hurt in Pittsburgh, he was
Yeah.
built in the same mold of players who could really, really fly. But Tampa Bay has two of them, Devin
Yeah.
White and
White.
what's the other dude, Kerry?
Levante Davis.
Yeah, Levante Davis. Both of them, and that's what another thing that frustrates me with Tampa Bay's defense is their front seven is absolutely fucking loaded, and then they got Antoine Winfield Jr., who is playing extremely well as a rookie in the back end, but they're not just the corners, the secondary, nickel,
Yeah,
third and
yeah.
fourth corner, safeties, they fucking suck.
They suck.
Bad. But
They're
I'll say
terrible.
this though. And we're talking about that mode of linebacker who can really run, make plays, and all that. I'm really eager to see with this kid out of Clemson, Isaiah. I just had his name.
Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons. Yeah,
That's it.
because I saw him a couple times in Arizona pop into games, and in that Seattle game, huge interception that helped Arizona bring it home. I mean, so I've seen him pop. I've
Well,
seen him flash.
he's reminded me of another one of Nice's guy, and it's one of Carey's guys now, and it's one of my guys is Jabril Peppers, somebody who's just got this an absolute tool box of skill set to play every position, and it's just going to take them a while to acclimate to one position in the NFL because they've never had a position before. They just played
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what happens. It takes a while. Give them a little time because they never really played a solidified position. They're just everywhere. Just put them on the field and they just do whatever, you know. But
Yeah.
he'll definitely will be. Isaiah Simmons is definitely going to be a stud in the NFL, man. He's definitely going to be a stud.
I'm
You
definitely
see
looking
the
at
guy-
this
see
next
the guy-
stuff.
It's just about putting it together now.
Word. So, what do you guys think of how terrible Detroit is, considering that they just got shut out by an XFL quarterback?
Oh man, that was terrible, man.
How does
That
Matt
was-
Patricia have a job this week after that performance?
I don't know, man. That was really tough. You couldn't put up at 1 point on the board against an XFL quarterback.
And a
That
terrible team. The Panthers aren't any good. They're not
Yeah.
any good.
Yeah, they're not.
So,
They're not. This
hot-
is not a team
Hot
that-
take. I'll tell you exactly how he has his job. Matt Patricia is using Black Lives Matter the same way Rudy Giuliani used 9/11. As soon as Rudy started feeling some heat, he was like, 9/11. You know, like,
Remember what I did for 9/11?
I did. Matt Patricia's doing that right now. He's like,
and he also
remember those
comes
marches
from-
back in the summertime? They're like, oh shit, yeah, you're right.
And he also
So
comes
this year,
from-
I told you, Matt Patricia's going to be untouchable this year. He's
Yeah,
gonna be fine this-
but Trump.
year.
Yeah, but Trump's out. Biden and well, President Harris won. So let's call it for what it really is. President Harris really won. So that doesn't carry any weight anymore, Matt Patricia.
but they're gonna. He did enough, so they're gonna wait next year. He better not be fucking up. They're gonna be watching
Yeah.
him and be like,
Oh,
mean,
they
"There's
can't.
shit else going on."
Nice. They can't give him another year. They can't.
They're going to because of his background. He came from the
Telling you,
Patriots.
they're going to. They're
He
going to.
he came from the Patriots. They always gonna give you a fighting chance because you came from that background.
All right.
Fuck around and have them look even halfway good in the last 2 games.
All right,
Once
so
they-
nice,
if they
dude.
win the last game, forget it.
Nice. Do you
Solid.
think that Brian Flores clear success that he's building down in Miami, and then Judge's? If you watch football, you know that Joe Judge is on the right path in New York. Do you think that these Patriots assistants instant success is going to give Matt Patricia a little bit longer of a leash?
Yes.
That sucks. That sucks for Detroit.
I'm telling you, this is why I'm saying it's the Patriot effect.
I'm sorry. Let me.
They use Joe Judge and Brian Flores as examples, though, because those are the new waves.
He's still going to do it though because the Ford family doesn't know what they're doing.
And remember,
They should look at more so Romeo Crennel and fucking
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah,
Right. They should look at
Patricia has a lot of-
those as the examples.
Patricia has a lot of jewelry too, so you know he can flash that. He can come through and flash that. Like, I got these rings, so what are y'all gonna do? I'm telling y'all how this.
Well, he
is
got Trick on team. He got Trick got his back out there in D-Town.
100%. 100%. Oh,
Yeah,
I feel really bad. Let me apologize on behalf of football to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, man. Matthew Stafford is in there.
Like, you've lived through enough in life, my friend. The shit with your wife, like just everything. And now for the first time, your best friend growing up, Clayton Kershaw, has tasted a professional championship. Oh my God, you must be going out of your mind right now.
He must
because you
be.
want
He
to-
should be
No one
making.
can explain that feeling to you.
He.
You have to taste it.
So nice. Do you think that? I think Matthew Stafford's wife, not even his agent. I think his wife should be making real estate inquiries into Atlanta.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, that would be a nice spot for him. That would be a real nice spot for him.
You get to
But-
play indoors again, and you know their
Yeah.
offense is loaded. They got receiver
Yeah.
talent everywhere.
Yeah.
Loaded, but come on, what are you doing with that defense? So you
Yeah,
don't
that's-
want to. If you're
that
Matthew
defense,
Stafford,
yeah.
you want to go to a squad that got some deep.
Well, Chicago would be the only option then.
Chicago,
Yeah.
right? Chicago.
Chicago
You're
would
in
be
division.
very
So you know how the other people get down. You know you got studs on defense, and I mean you're used to not having a running game. But I mean, actually, the kid that they got. I mean, I know he's banged up, Montgomery. He should be fine.
Yeah.
They'll get some, and they'll have Tariq Cohen next year again.
He's going too, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. No, nice. That's a good fit, though. Chicago would make sense, but he would have to leave via free agency. They're not going to trade him in the division. That shit never happens.
Never happened.
And who are you going to trade him for?
Be looking to extend him, especially since they didn't get to him.
Yeah. Interesting, but if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay would be a good spot. You can go up there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also good.
OD.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think Aaron Rodgers now with the success that they're having is
I don't think he's going.
I don't think he still has the same attitude that he had at the beginning of the year whenever they drafted
Yeah.
Jordan Love.
Yeah. He made them forget about that.
And also, have you literally heard the name Jordan Love once this entire season from anyone?
what I said.
Exactly. So it was just like, you know what?
And even when they do a kneel down, who goes in there? It ain't Jordan Love. It's
Nope.
whoever that other guy is. Whoever he is. I don't even know his name.
he made sure that they forget about Jordan Love. He did that, and I knew this was gonna happen because Aaron Rodgers is that type of player. You're not gonna disrespect me like that. I'm gonna make sure that y'all don't even remember this guy's name.
All right, so Dice,
I'm gonna make you love me, baby.
let me tell you something that Aaron Rodgers said today, and I actually believe him because this is the same thing that Randy Moss used to do. And it seems like people that are this, like Bo Jackson, that are this talented, they just don't fucking need to. So a caller asked him in the off season how many throws a day does he get in, and he said none. He said, I don't throw in the off season. And I was just like, I can believe that because Randy Moss didn't work out. He never even stretched pregame. He literally would tell you, you ever seen a cheetah stretch?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
man.
true.
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, Bo
man.
Jackson not lifting weights. He's like, yeah, I'm going bow hunting.
Yeah, I'm gonna whatever I kill, I'm gonna carry for miles on my back. That's how I'm gonna work out. Whatever, I got this. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers doesn't even throw in the offseason. I dig it though. I fucks with it. Well, fuck it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing this for so long. It's like, wow, what? I'm not gonna wear my arm out in the off season. I'm just.
I don't think he
I
believes in
already know what
avocados
I'm
either. I don't think that's the thing for him.
Nah, cause dude, every show he's sitting there drinking fucking gin or vodka and something. Like he's just chilling, man. He's chilling, like whatever.
Yeah, he's a chill guy.
At a basketball game, having a beer chug off with an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, he told a story where in one of his like his second or third year that him and like the punter ended up just crashing some frat party in Wisconsin and was playing beer pong at some frat party and it's fucking Aaron Rodgers and shit. And it's just like,
yeah.
Yeah, man. The guy lives his life, man. He's like Big
now,
Ben.
why
He's
Why
like
not?
Big Ben.
incredible. So, Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. What I have learned is though Jacksonville is going to get blown out, you are not going to. It's 3 weeks in a row now that yes they've lost. They lost by 24, but whoever they're playing against just doesn't put up big numbers. And I don't know if it's because they get blown out early and they're on the bench in the fourth. But Big Ben not having a big day literally ruined my fantasy day because I had every other person right except Big Ben.
Well, here's the thing. So I think there's two schools of thought. Jacksonville isn't as bad as what we all perceive them to be, what everyone perceives them to be, and they also play hard. Also not being as terrible as everyone thinks you are, and then also playing hard will keep you in a lot of these games. Because also we have to remember, Jacksonville had the ball with an opportunity to at least win against Green Bay. I mean, they had an opportunity at the end of the game. They're just not. They're that team that's not going away. They're definitely one of those teams you don't want to face near the end of the year because if you have if you're like right on the borderline of making the playoffs, they can easily spoil your parade. So
that would definitely be a game that
looking to prove something.
That would
James
be
Robinson is looking to prove that they got rid of Leonard Fournette for a reason. The wide receivers are looking to prove that, like, yo, I'm still dope. Like, you know,
like I said,
any defender that's left there, they got rid of Ngakoue, they got rid of Jalen, they got rid of this one, that one. They're like, yo, we still ball out here. We still ball.
Yeah, they're just a few pieces away from being a good team.
Yeah, one of them's a real quarterback because apparently it doesn't matter if you got this Luton kid, the Crouton, or Uncle Rico. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And they're performing at the same level. Like I said, they do. I love their receiving core. Always have.
Their receiving core is ridiculous.
Running back, super dope. Their defense does play hard. They just don't have anybody. They don't have an NFL roster.
Yeah, they just missing a couple of pieces, and I hope that they GM Coughlin do the right thing in this draft because they're gonna get a lot of high picks. They fill up the
And you know
roster.
what? So even on along those lines, we got to think about that. We have to remember who their president and GM is. It's Coughlin. So they're going to play hard,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
they're not going to be there. So
Coughlin
even
don't
thinking
give a
about that,
fuck.
we have to stop being surprised at the Jaguars because they are built
I'm
in
not.
Coughlin's image, top down.
Now,
So,
and you do remember when the Jaguars first came into the league in the second year when they went to the AFC Championship, who was their coach?
Yeah,
It was Coughlin. He just returned home, people.
yeah, yeah.
So Tennessee and Baltimore, super dope football game.
Yes,
So
indeed.
the question that I have for you two, and it's clear to me, it's over for Baltimore. It's not going to work this year. It's over.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. People have figured out their game plan, man. Even Lamar Jackson said it. They're too repetitive. Their game plan is it don't throw you off. It's run the football or Lamar Jackson is gonna fake it and he's gonna run it. It's getting to the point where it's just getting too repetitive. And what happens in football when people study tape and they study you to the fullest and you play them, they're gonna execute and figure out a way to stop you. And this is what's happening with Baltimore right now.
but who just got in the game though? I was about to say who just got in the game though.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see what they do with him.
64 yards. I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. He played pretty good. Like I said, they just that offense, they gotta do something different. They have to come up with different plays on that offense. Cause it was certain times they were about to run a play and I was calling it before they even played it, before they even ran it. So I knew it's too repetitive.
Well,
They
you've
have
got
to
you've
open
got
up
Baltimore at 6-4 right now and outside the playoffs, Kerry, and you also have Baltimore playing Pittsburgh this week, and you also have Baltimore with J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram both got the Roni. So,
Yeah.
what they're going to be 6-5. You're looking
Yeah.
at a team that might actually not even make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because when you look at especially the defensive backfield, Humphrey, Marcus Peters,
It's the
It's
offense.
hard.
It's all on the offense.
It's,
I'm like,
it's the-
hard.
it's
They
the
got these
offense, man.
studs on defense. I'm like, come on, you guys are
It's-
so
it's the-
talented. I mean,
It's the offense, man. The
not
offense.
throwing the rock to the receivers, and when he is throwing the rock to the receivers, he is throwing long. He's just inaccurate, and he's missing. There's times where it's right there. They are wide open. This is a touchdown to Hollywood Brown, or and
Yeah.
he's but also, I feel like he's one of those players who can't go without a preseason. Like he needs all the reps, all that. He's a dynamic player, but just like to work backwards from his, since he is so dynamic, to just work some of the more basic things.
Well, he definitely needs micro coaching, mechanics work, and timing and reps and all these things that he's missing.
Rep.
He's missing all that.
those
So
things.
nice,
And
nice. Let me.
especially having an established receiver will also help a young quarterback, and he finally has one. Yes, it's Dez. We get that, but Dez is super helpful. Like every teammate that's played with Dez, they loved him.
That's
They
my
were like,
guy. That's not
Yeah.
that's not nicest guy. That's my guy.
That's my guy too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So he needed a vet receiver. I mean, yeah, vet receiver. Like a great receiver to have for him would be Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, Larry will never leave Arizona.
You know who a great receiver actually for him to have would be Michael Thomas.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
would be-
All right,
At this
so
point in his career,
yeah, all right. So let me end this one because we're up on our 40-minute timeline. I'm about to send you another one real quick.
All right.
Take a break. We'll be right back. All right, give me 1 second, y'all, and bam, we're back. Like we never left. It's funny because this is the perfect time to roll the fuck up. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I see how this timing is going to work because on Mob Deep Monday and RIP TV, I literally have the blunt rolling timed at exactly the same times every time, and it's like, I see how this is going to work now. So anyway, now that we got everybody back,
Yes.
let's get into our favorite section of each gray matter. Let's talk about the fucking Jets.
Yeah.
It's everybody's favorite topic, the Jets. Yo, I almost picked the Jets this week, Nice. I swear to God. I literally thought about it for a second. And as you can see the look on Kerry's face, and I knew he thought about it for a second too. Like,
Yeah, I thought they were going to win as well.
I was like, the Chargers blow every game that they're in.
Yeah.
See, the Chargers were favored by 8.5, and I said, nope, going with the Jets.
Yeah, that was the easy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Well, the Jets, the Trevor Lawrence's effect is in play right now, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you guys better not fuck this up.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what? And I've been thinking about it. I'm like, they gonna fuck around and win a game.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
I mean, Denzel Mims has shown that he is gonna be a great piece for the future. They got a couple of pieces here and there, but
Well, it's funny because Joe Flacco's in there slinging the rock to Perryman and Denzel Mims, and where the fuck was Sam Darnold? Why wasn't Sam Darnold using these people?
First, Denzel Mims was on IR for a very long time. This is like Denzel Mims' like third game.
All right, so I just looked up the Jets' schedule for the rest of the year. They're not going to win a game. Don't worry about it. Nice. You guys got Trevor Lawrence. All right, so you guys got.
You don't think they can beat the Dolphins?
No. They got Miami next. That's not going to happen. Then the Raiders. That's definitely not happening.
Definitely not going to happen.
And then they're traveling to Seattle. That's
not going to happen.
And then
They have New England again, right?
yeah, that's the last game of the year. Then they travel to the Rams. That's not happening. And then they have to play Cleveland. And so that Pats game at the end of the year, they might sneak one in. They might sneak one in.
That Pats game at the end.
One in that Pats game because we almost won the first Pats game.
So Nice. If they win that Pats game, does Adam Gase keep his job?
Oh man, I hope not. They need to get rid of Adam Gase and get Trevor Lawrence. Get a great coach.
Oh my God, I love talking about the Jets. This shit is so much fun.
Trevor Lawrence might petition for a 5th or 6th year in college. Like, who's picking first? Can I get another year in college, please?
Yeah, I hope he doesn't do that. That would be very heartbreaking, man, if he does that.
Man,
right now, that is the path that we're on, man. We need Trevor Lawrence right now.
What y'all need is a plan B. That's what you need.
You need that, but you know what? If I'm Trevor Lawrence, and I go into the meeting with Jets ownership, I tell them to get the fuck out of here. I need to talk to the ownership. And I look him dead in the face. I'll be like, listen, if you want to draft me, this guy's got to go.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's only right. I mean, I don't know. He always says, like, his offense is so complex. And this is what he's trying to say. Low-key, what he's trying to say is his offense is so complex that the players is not getting.
I'm so smart, they just can't figure it out. Well,
Yeah.
you're too smart for yourself,
this
son.
is
You
what
outsmarted
you-
yourself out of a damn job.
And
They need to take his job.
They need to take
and
it.
it's terrible, man. Even look, the you said that Flacco started flinging the rock, right? That's because Loggins took over the offensive play call.
Yes, he did.
As soon as he
And they've
did,
been playing better ever since.
they've been putting up points since. You know,
P. Ryan's getting the rock.
yeah, it's just a matter of they just don't got enough players and the injuries and all that kind of stuff. But you know, yeah, man, they got to get rid of Adam Gase and get Trevor Lawrence.
See,
man.
Kerry, that's one player that I always liked, even coming out of college. I just thought that he went to a program that has so much talent, they just didn't need him. Was P. Ryan. I was just like, because every time he was getting the rock, I was just like, damn, man, that guy runs fucking hard. And then I always wondered who was going to get him in the NFL, because I was just like, yo, this is like one of those, it's like at Georgia or, you know, another school or Ohio State or something where there's just so much talent, you might not see the field.
Right.
Yeah, P. Ryan, and he can catch out the backfield too. He's a complete running back.
Well, I like him because he's, even when he's just standing there, he's leaning forward. So
Yeah.
he is definitely falling forward on every carry,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
in the NFL counts for a lot.
I think it's his cousin or his older brother, Samaje, who plays for Bengals now.
Yeah.
You know, but he got drafted by the Washington squad, and it was like, but you saw what Samaje did at Oklahoma. I mean, he broke the all time. You know what I'm saying? He was breaking records and doing all that crazy shit. But Samaje kind of reminded me of Trent Richardson.
Yeah, Trent.
I don't know how he's going to do in the league. He's with the Bungles now. So, but he's getting an opportunity and he's doing a little something with it. But this P. Ryan just needed an opportunity and he's finally getting it. I mean, I'm sorry, like as much as I love Frank Gore, if a 38-year-old running back is ahead of me and I'm only 21 years old, I'm salty. Yeah. I'm salty as hell. And I'm like, it's nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with y'all. If y'all not giving me the rock right now, like, are you serious? That's when you use running backs, when they are in their young 20s.
Yo, I would be so tight if I was him, because I'd be like, yo, y'all ain't seeing us in practice?
Are you for real?
When we run 40s, he doesn't even stop. He just runs in circles.
This dude takes Geritol breaks. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, all respect to Frank Gore. You are a first ballot Hall of Famer, and you have lasted long enough to sneak yourself into the top 3 all-time running backs as far as yardage. That is incredible. But
and I'll guarantee you, if you were to take just the average fan, even if they weren't barely a fan, and you said Walter Payton, they'd be like, absolutely, I know who that is. He ran for a lot of yards. Barry Sanders. Oh, yeah, I heard he was great. Emmitt Smith. Oh, played for Dallas. Frank Gore.
Who?
Was he a senator? Was he a man?
A senator. He does sound like a senator. Vote Frank Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't sound like no NFL running back.
He runs hard.
Yo, so nice, and Kerry knows this, my affinity for Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor is a better-known running back in the history of the NFL, and Fred Taylor is 17th on the all-time rushing list.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Frank Gore is 3rd, and he's just...
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. He just goes in and
only, and he's less than a G away from catching Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not going to get it. He's not going to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he stays with the Jets, because they will pay a 40-year-old running back. They will do it.
He's just not a real flashy. He's not really just a real flashy running back. He just goes in and gets the job done.
He always falls for it. No, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
This guy's amazing.
You're not getting you're not getting negative carries with him, and honestly, in the modern day NFL, negative carries don't really exist anymore. Like that shit doesn't really. Barry Sanders isn't out there running around in the backfield getting negative 5 and 6 yard carries and shit. The run pass option, if the run is not there, the quarterback's just going to pull it out and throw it.
Yeah,
so that they were talking about that earlier today. I was like, oh, they are right. The NFL is changing so much that's never going to happen again. It's never going to happen again.
Because there were a lot of plays that they would run in college. Many back in the day, especially the NFL was like, "Nah, we don't do this up here, son." And they were like, "Oh, but we score 60 points a game. Oh, okay, cool. You don't want to do that? That's fine." And then when people started grumbling, like, football's getting boring, they don't score enough points, they were like, "Wait, so what was that shit that y'all did again? What was that offense y'all ran?" And as soon as some of the coaches from college started making it into the NFL, they were like, "We're just going to throw a couple of these plays in." Like, look at when Wildcat first hit, and Miami was doing it, and they had Ronnie Brown, and they had my man Ganja Williams, Ricky Williams, Tricky Ricky.
Mhm.
They were blowing teams out because no defense knew how to stop it.
Well,
They
nice.
never-
You also notice that the league itself has played a role in that because of the way that it scores its stats. If you have a slot that's running into the backfield and the quarterback, as long as it's not underhanded, it is considered a pass now, no matter which direction it's in. So
Yeah.
you might even just push it out here, and he might get a 5-yard loss. That's now a pass now. So
Yeah.
that, like I said, the negative runs. If you get a negative run, yeah, running back fucking sucks. What the hell happened?
Or you're doing a kneel down.
Yeah,
Right.
That's about it. The whole game has changed. Even with Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook are in an eye getting the ball, but they are just running forward, and it's weird. It's weird how the game has changed that
Yeah,
much.
man.
That's right. Because even if they're doing like a sprint sweep to either side, even the short side, they're getting right back to the line of scrimmage. Like, you rarely see someone get tackled for a loss, like a running back. Even
Well,
out of
now
the-
you look at the touchdown that Devontae Adams had. Instead of running a sprint sweep where the quarterback would toss it out, he's snapping the ball and throwing it to the receiver who's already out at that spot, and they're already in motion. And the tackle has enough time to actually pull out. So it's like the game is moving. It's so
Like that.
quick. It's so quick
Yeah,
now. It's moving.
It's a
Even
lot,
the,
yeah,
even
it's a
the
lot
tunnel
faster.
screen we saw Robert Woods catch last night,
Yeah.
right before the halftime, that went 30-plus
Yeah,
yards.
yeah,
Where you're like,
you
get
know,
down, get down.
players-
Could he score? He might score. But yeah, I mean, to think about running that play with only 17 seconds left, right before the half with 0 timeouts, that just shows you how much the game has changed.
Completely.
Yeah, players are a lot faster now. A lot faster.
Well, I mean,
Game is
there's so much. It's all about spacing in today's NFL. It's like
Mhm.
it's literally
So
all.
they didn't even have to throw it down the middle of the field for a chunk play. They created
Yeah.
the chunk play. Tunnels.
Yeah, they can screen pass it and just,
But it only takes one all-time great defender to blow shit like that up.
That is true.
You know, if you got one safety or corner who's out there who would make that play in the backfield, like as soon as he
Right,
caught it,
right.
he's on his ankles, guaranteed.
Like Baker from Arizona, he could make that play.
Revis, when Revis was at his peak, was make that play guaranteed.
Right.
You
You
know.
see Ramsey make plays like that, Jalen Ramsey, because he's a tackler, a willing tackler.
Yeah. So
Going back to that Rams team real quick, can we just talk about how smooth Cooper Kupp's game was? Because you would have never guessed he caught that many balls and had that many yards in that game. But he was just making it look so easy. I mean, he had one catch on the sideline. He just did a simple move, quick spin. The DB's like on the bench already, and he's just like, "Let me just get this yak. Let me just yak it up." Like,
Yeah,
smooth.
Cooper Kupp-
So
Cooper
smooth.
Kupp is a special talent, man.
I mean,
Him
you
and
know,
Wood both,
sneak.
though, like,
The
way they get the yak is crazy.
You know what they say about him, though, Kerry? He's one of those guys, coach's son, first in, last out kind of guy.
Yeah.
The full effort guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
real
no, but let me
real
tell you
smart
something.
player.
But let me tell
Yeah.
you something. Casper
AKA, he's white, everybody.
Kupp- well, that's what I call him. I just call him Casper Cup. Casper Cup got some moves. That boy got some wiggle to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
see,
he
like,
can go.
if you play him like that, if you play him like he ain't got no wiggle, you're gonna get embarrassed.
Well, it helps if you're playing a team whose secondary is absolute trash.
Sure.
And completely,
I mean,
really,
like,
really
look-
young. And it's hard to have one player in your secondary like a nickel or somebody who's getting a lot of reps who is young because it's hard to figure out the NFL offense. The Tampa Bay's entire secondary is young. They're all first, second, and third year players through their entire depth chart, and you can see it on the field. People are
And they
wide
really
the fuck
go after
open.
That dude, Dean.
Oh my
Jamal
God,
Dean.
yeah, they
They go
were.
after him a lot. but he did pick six. Who did he pick? He picked six Aaron Rodgers.
He does have a bunch of picks because they are going at him, but. And I was saying it last night. I was just saying it. Carrie, it was hilarious during the chat. Me and one of the listeners was literally calling out the plays before they were happening. Like,
oh yeah, it's so simple,
dude. It was like the picks, fumbles, like everything was like so mapped out. I was just like, look, they're about to pick it right here. Like it was so easy. But Tampa Bay secondary fucking sucks. They fucking suck. So does the Jets secondary. But
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
I do like-
Yo, nice.
do
What's worse, the Jets secondary or Herbert's haircut?
The Jets secondary, but I do like Bryce Hall though. I do like Bryce Hall. He's showing flashes that he's actually really got a lot of ball awareness. It's just he's a rookie and that was his first game. So
And you are playing against Keenan Allen and
Yeah,
Mike Williams and
yeah, but his ball awareness, because it was a lot of plays that he stopped Keenan Allen on, and I didn't understand why they didn't keep him on Keenan Allen.
well, Keenan Allen did have 16 catches for 145 yards, so he was doing something to get somebody over there. Yeah, 16.
Yeah, no, he was doing it
16
against
catches.
everybody else.
16.
Yeah, he was doing it against everybody else, really. When Bryce Hall was on him, Bryce Hall made a few good plays. I mean, but it's Keenan Allen. I mean, he had like I think 4 receptions on Bryce Hall.
It's
That
Keenan
was it.
Allen, though. Like, what do you expect?
So Keenan Allen, basically what you're saying is your best running back right now.
16 catches.
That's
that's retarded.
There's
Yeah,
16
man,
when
I
when
mean-
you say 16 catches, also a $145. So I'm saying, so you're getting 9 yards a catch. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, when you got guys like Arthur Millette, this guy shouldn't even be in the league.
Yeah, did you
No.
see the look on my face when you said that name?
Yes, exactly. He shouldn't even be in the league.
You know what it was?
I had
I
no
thought it was-
idea
I thought it
he
was like-
was in the league until you just said his name.
Yeah.
You know
and
what?
he-
I thought it was the AKA of a superhero. You know how them superheroes we have them corny ass regular human names, but then like they turned into their thing. Like Aquaman was
yeah.
like Arthur, dumb shit.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
no,
like
no superhero activities with him. He's terrible.
yeah, no superhero activity.
There is no superhero activity going on in that locker room. That is for fucking
Yes,
sure.
not at all. Not at all.
So let me move on to another game.
Can I bring up a game real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to bring up that Tennessee, because we talked about the Ravens. That Tennessee Ravens game was hard to pick, and because you have two similar teams, and the only thing I could really go off of was that playoff game, and we saw what Tennessee did to Baltimore in that playoff game. But at the same time, you think, okay, well, is it going to be like that again? And clearly it is.
Yes.
Like Tennessee just clearly has it. They're just like, we do what you do, but we also do it better.
Well,
Because we also pass
yeah,
the rock.
Carrie, I thought it was
And
actually
A.J.
an
Brown.
easy game. I thought it was an
A.J.
easy game.
Brown, like that touchdown he scored, the Mike Evans touchdown was nice, but A.J. Brown, I was like, wow, because Son
Yeah.
could still be running right now. Nobody was
Yeah.
taking him down. Nobody, because he knew he laid an absolute egg against Indianapolis.
Yes.
It was terrible. I didn't even know he was out on the field.
Well, he had a couple drops in the beginning of the game too, and I was like, uh-oh. He wasn't looking
Oh,
good
yeah,
at the beginning.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, yeah, Tennessee. That was a.
All right, so I'm glad you brought that up. Nice. I want to ask both you guys about the best part about that game. So apparently the Titans players were standing on the Ravens shield pregame, and the Ravens didn't do anything about it. And John Harbaugh came over and was just like, "Yo, y'all are disrespecting the shield, blah blah blah." And Malcolm Butler said, "Yo, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
And so then Harbaugh started mouthing off to them, and then Vrabel came over and was just like, yo, why don't you get your players to come over here and do something about this? We in here, right? So then after the game, they had some more words. So then it was like, it's this big thing like, yo, they about actually went at it. So It's no question. Come on, it's
With those two teams.
come on. It's fucking Mike Vrabel. He's an NFL linebacker. He's 6'4", 265, and apparently he still does linebacker drills with the Titans. He jumps right in when in the drills. So he would have worked Harbaugh all day, which I would have loved to have seen because I fucking hate John Harbaugh.
I mean, something needed to happen.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Stand on the shield. Fuck you. Do something about this shit.
Let the rivalry begin. Let it be a real.
Well, didn't Juju Schuster do that in Dallas?
Yep.
Like he did. Nobody did a thing.
Nope.
Nobody did a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man. They said, who rocked him? Antonio Langham? Who got him?
Somebody.
I was like, where's that guy? It was one of the guys who used to play for Alabama. It was either Antonio Langham.
Yeah,
or
somebody. I think it was crazy, but yeah, I thought that shit was hilarious. I'm all for it. I hate this shit of jersey swaps and like working out with each other in the off season and all that shit. And riding,
when did that shit even start?
I don't know, riding banana boats in Jamaica in the off season with each other's wives and shit. Like all this weirdo shit, man. I'm not with it. You're supposed to hate each other.
Yep. This is why a lot of games be soft because a lot of dudes don't really got hate for the other dudes. So it's not really, they're not coming in really wanting to win.
Hey, not everybody's like that. Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck if me and Nick Chubb grew up together. When he has the rock, he gonna act like he don't know me. So there are players in the league who are still like that. Like that safety kid, Abram.
There are players, Kerry, but there are very few teams that are like that still.
Which is sad to me.
And Tennessee is looking like they're about that action, and it's looking like it helps that you have a former linebacker who was about that life as your coach, setting the tone. Like
Tennessee is one of the most physical teams in the league. They're physical. They're gonna hit you in the mat.
And see, that was the thing with Baltimore. You have.
Baltimore was like that, but now they're getting very finesse like.
They have that foundation there. Which I'll say this. I don't know what Earl Thomas did. I don't know what he did. But getting rid of him.
Yeah, that was a bad move. Very bad move.
Was that the right move? Couldn't we have worked it out another way?
So let me, nice. Let me ask you something. Since they have, we're on Baltimore again, and Dobbins and Ingram are both got the Roni this week on a short week. I think they play Pittsburgh on Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken.
Thursday night, yeah.
Do you think Ray Rice's cell phone is on right now?
It should be. It should be. It better be. Because, like I said, Baltimore was always known to be that real physical team in the league.
Exactly.
Because of Lamar Jackson and the MVP hype and all the cameras started coming in, they began to get a little too Hollywoodish. And Hollywood Brown over there, and it's a lot of all-season things going on. Guys just wearing chains and dancing to rap music and all this extra stuff. Now they've got really. They lost their drive on what they really made, what they were built on. This is why they're having all these problems. They're having a lot of problems because they're not sticking to that physicality. And like I said, Lamar Jackson has become a very big part of it.
All right, so Kerry, if you look at what's happened, the most underrated issue with Baltimore is Marshall Yanda getting hurt in the beginning of the year. He's gone off the offensive line, which is, you're talking about the best at his position in the league for years in a row. So that's going to hurt. Also, who is left from any era of Baltimore physicality in Baltimore? There's nobody left at all.
Yeah.
They all got TV jobs.
All of them. And even Eric Weddle, who wasn't part of that, who was a physical player, you let him go real quick, like in and out of here.
And then you got rid of Earl Thomas.
And then you got rid of Earl Thomas, and even though he was undersized, Earl Thomas would smack the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And then him and his brother were.
And this crew needs it. They need to bring back Steve Smith Sr.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
for that wide receiver crew.
So that's what I'm saying. They that
run through there and punch a couple dudes in the face and get it going.
they don't have anybody who on their entire roster who has that mentality.
Yeah, that physicality is gone, man. This is why Baltimore is looking like that. Tennessee has gained that.
Well, Pittsburgh too. Pittsburgh is
Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, well of course Pittsburgh always been hard nosed. You know, their roster always been built on toughness. I mean, you know, they have not have one soft team yet. Even when guys were hurt, they were still smacking dudes in the face. They're one physical team.
How come someone who can't even walk still want to play? And you kind of afraid, like, is Ryan Shazier gonna take that halo off and suit up? Because
he might.
That dude's serious.
He might.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you take a little pause, like. So you retired, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like what Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they never been soft.
This is why they're undefeated. You got to be physical. It's physical sport.
I mean, Pittsburgh was so hard. Even a fullback, Merrill Hodge was hard.
Yeah.
Damn fullback.
Everybody, and there's another physical team that's lurking out in there, but they're not physical on that side of the ball. They're physical on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the Raiders. Because that offensive line,
Raiders.
Yeah,
talking about the Raiders.
That offensive line is manhandling people right now.
That safety kid, Abram,
Gruden.
He's a problem. He's gonna be a problem for years to come.
A lot of people was wondering why they gave Gruden all this money. Gruden is an offensive genius, man. When it take him a year. That first year, he was trying to figure some things out. And, this all season he said, all right, this is how we're going to do this, and this is how we're going to play.
All right, so, nice. Let me ask you, if you're a Raiders player and you've watched Monday Night Football and Gruden's quarterback camp for the last 10 years as a kid and in college, and then you get into camp thinking that John Gruden is going to be like, boy, I tell you what, this quarterback right here is the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life, because Gruden did nothing but offer praise as an analyst. And the second that practice starts, everybody sucks. Fuck you. Yeah. I hate you. You're horrible.
Yeah, Gruden.
But you also have to remember, go back and rewatch a few of those episodes. So yeah, he was buddy with you in the trailer, right? But then let's get your feet on those blades of grass. He started to become different. He was like, nah, let's see that. Throw that again. Let's see that again. Let's see, because this is what you need to look at. Let's look at that again.
Well, also
more aggressive with them.
Going back to a team, a more '90s built team, which you have Vrabel, who's playing like he's building his team like it's the '90s because he played in the '90s, and you got Pittsburgh. They've never changed. They've always been this way. So whatever. But now you have Gruden, who takes a 10-year hiatus and is coaching his team physical, and also he doesn't give a fuck. Chucky don't care. He don't care. It's the black hole. They're calling their stadium the fucking Death Star, for Christ's sakes. Yeah. So that's another team that, everyone's going to hate them, and they're going to hate everybody, and I'm here for it. I love every second of it.
I love it.
Yeah,
man. That's what I'm saying. It was a beautiful hire of him to usher them into this new thing, because he definitely brings that shit with him. It works perfectly.
Yeah,
and he had all those years to just really think about the game and think about, if I get this next opportunity, what will I do with it? And then he got 10 years to do it. Come on.
Yeah. He also a lot of picks he made. A lot of people questioned when he was making those picks. And look, it's working out.
Well, don't they have, who's their GM, Kerry? Isn't it
Mike Mayock?
Mike Mayock. That's what I thought. Yeah. So they got him. So they got a really good GM.
And the thing about it is that they were making picks that may have not made sense to you right now. Because it may not have been it may be out of order. It's not sequentially. It's out of order for you, but it's like we see Ruggs. Ruggs is going to be ill.
That's my guy.
Give him years three, and then we'll start saying Ruggs' name more. He's picking players. We're saying Abrams' name now at safety. We're going to be saying his name a lot more later. You already had Jake. We're saying his name now because he's a running back, so he's immediate.
Well, it's funny because
Waller.
Because
we're saying a few names early, but
Gruden, well, Mike Mayock is his drafting strategy is mirroring what the Cowboys did to build their team to make that run that they're currently running out of that they had real quick. It's
So they got their Emmett. I don't know if they have their Troy Aikman yet. Well, they don't have their Irvin yet, but they have their Jay Novacek, Waller.
Yeah.
They got that. They got their Darren Woodson and Abram. You know, so they're building.
And then they focus first on the offensive line, which is right now is the best unit in football. So, yo, Flea, what up, man? Yo, Flea, we already talked about the bum ass Jets, so we are not
Flea with the Jets. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
He wants to know what nice things what the good moves for the Jets are. The good moves are for the Jets is keep on losing, baby. Keep on riding that train.
Yeah, we gonna get Trevor Lawrence, man, and things will be a lot better.
Nice. Honestly, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I actually hope you do. Yeah. Because I hope Trevor Lawrence. It sucks that Joe Burrow got hurt. That's really fucking sucks. Because if he wouldn't have got hurt, Joey Bag of Donuts could have called him and be like, "Yo, man, go ahead and go there because you can. It'll be you. You're not building on someone else's legacy or continuing the legacy of the Steelers or the Patriots or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or any dumb shit like that. It'll all be you when you make it work." And now he's hurt.
He's talking leg talk with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, nah, it's over, man. It's over. Yeah. Joey Bag of Donuts is going to call Trevor Lawrence and tell him,
legging it out.
Yeah, don't do it, homie. Don't do it, homie.
I hope he don't, man. I hope he don't do that because we need Trevor Lawrence, man. We need him as really bad right now. Because besides Trevor Lawrence, I mean, Justin Fields.
Don't do that. Don't even start with that Ohio State quarterback shit. We're not doing that today.
That's what I'm saying. That's not a good look.
Justin Fields could be an outlier though, and I keep saying that, and I want to continue to say that.
Well, he might be the outlier because they have a whole new coaching staff that brought him in as a recruit and whatnot. So I will reserve judgment on that. But Ohio State traditionally, up until whoever this coach is, your quarterbacks suck in the NFL, man.
He's a transfer in.
Yeah.
He got Georgia. From Georgia. Yeah. Different. Yeah. He is different. And he came in from Georgia. He was highly recruited. He was actually
highly
recruited quarterback in the country.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I'll wait. I'm not going to hold the Ohio State thing against him because it is a new coach and all that. And he is balling. Jesus Christ, he had like 47 touchdowns and 2 picks last year. That's retarded. I don't care what system you're running. That's retarded.
Yeah, but I don't want him. I want Trevor Lawrence, man. Trevor Lawrence is that guy, man. He's the guy.
I don't want him. He's in a position to choose. I don't want him. Motherfucker, you better take whoever wants to be there.
Nice. Is that where all those chains came from? You got a job with the Jets I didn't know about?
Yeah, man. Listen, man, we going for Trevor, man. We going for Trevor, and everything is going to be all right. We got Denzel Mims already. We going to earn our cap. We got a lot of cap space. We going to be all right, man. But it starts with Trevor Lawrence.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Let me tell you something. As a Knicks fan, I know about the dreaded having a lot of cap space. It don't mean shit.
I mean, it don't mean shit. I'm hoping that Joe Douglas does the right thing. Now, of course, Joe Douglas it's up to him. He has to get rid of Adam Gase. And he got to start, rebuilding, man. He has the tools to do it.
All right, so now that I'm on the subject in this episode of rebuilding teams in the image of physical 90s teams, what's up with Bill Cowher?
No.
Listen, if he hasn't come back this far, he's not coming back. There was a 10-year stretch where I was like, ooh, he could come back. I kind of wanted him to coach the Giants.
Well, he lives in Carolina, so I always thought that Carolina job, that if he was going to come back, it would have been there. But then Matt Rule he's going to be there for a couple years.
Yeah, Matt Rule's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, but Bill Cowher that would be a physical fucking team.
Yeah. Yeah. Bill Cowher is not going to play that.
When the chin comes out,
they still play that commercial where he's grabbing, I forget the guy's name right now. Lloyd.
Yeah.
95, Lloyd. He's like, sack the quarterback. Like he just grabbed him by. You know how many coaches I had that? Like just sack. I'm like, yes.
Okay,
You're
yes,
like,
yes.
I will do anything in my power to destroy this quarterback.
And here's a side note on that. The respect that the chin gets is Greg Lloyd was a like a 9th degree black belt outside of a quarterback murderer, because that was back when you were allowed to actually murder quarterbacks. And I know you guys both remember Greg Lloyd literally murdering quarterbacks. That was back when you could like
Greg Lloyd on one end, Kevin Green on the other one.
Yeah,
You talk about some gray matter. That's what the quarterback looked like when they met in the middle. And
Yo.
they destroyed him.
Yo, that's when you could grab a quarterback and like rodeo them in a circle into the turf. Like you could do anything, and they did.
I saw a safety tackle a wide receiver like that. Like he lifted him up and then he dumped him. Penalty.
Of course.
Yeah.
It was like,
it's not gonna happen now, you know.
Yo, you remember Greg? You remember?
He's just lighting the ass, and I left.
Yo, you remember Greg?
I'm strong.
Yo, you remember Greg Lloyd used to hit people so hard that he had that triple thick face mask. It wasn't even just a single bar. It was that shit that was like. That's if you saw
like
that.
You didn't know where his face mask ended and his neck began.
Yeah.
It was all one thing.
Yeah, I know if you're on offense and you see that on the opposing sideline, you're like, oh my God. Please don't throw a slant today. Please don't throw a slant. Like, just don't throw a slant.
Oh, because also, you know who they had? They had those two monsters and Levon Kirkland, who was 6'5", 270 fucking pounds at middle linebacker, and could also run.
Middle linebacker, people 200, and he got up to 280 because I grew up outside of Pittsburgh. I know all about that. Fuck, I hate the Steelers, but yo, Levon Kirkland was the biggest middle linebacker who ever played.
Oh my, and had speed.
Yeah.
Yo, he would be awesome in today's NFL.
Oh, yeah. He would be unstoppable. He would be dominant.
You know who would also be great if they came into the league right now before they flamed out was Adalius Thomas.
Oh yeah.
Whatever happened to him?
He got to New England and it was it. It didn't work in New England, and I was so hyped because I was like, oh, he's perfect for us because he can do everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, but when he was in Baltimore and he had Suggs to work opposite of, he was incredible.
He was incredible. He was doing some things.
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah,
Definitely
incredible. So, all right, so we got a couple minutes before I gotta re-up again. I'm just gonna fucking upgrade eventually. This is fucking retarded. It's so stupid of me. We'll start talking about it right now.
You didn't have to do this last week.
Well, it was just me and you. If there's only two, there's no time limit. If you add more than two, it's a 40-minute time limit.
Oh, that must be it. Okay.
And then during the Roni, when we first started doing it, they were letting in, there was no time limit because everyone had just started using Zoom. So it was like a new thing. So they were just like, oh, wow, this is great. But I don't even know.
Like, oh, now we can monetize.
Well, I mean, this is how the world's going. This is it for the future. Get prepared for the lockdown. It's about to be winter anyway. And we're going to.
These are our new cell phone bills right here. Zoom.
Yeah, this is it. I fucks with it, though.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to do shit in person anymore. Shit is way easier. Yeah. Like, even if you watch any sports show, there's no in-person guest ever. Yeah. Even though the people are in the like, you watch Good Morning Football, they're all at the desk now. Yeah. They're 6 feet apart, which is stupid, but they're all there. But everybody just zooms in now. This is the way it is.
I will say this though. There is a special kind of buzz when you have like someone who's killing it in their sport or whatever come into the studio, into your space, and you get to share a little time. That's a different sort of energy. That's kind of a cool shit.
It is, but this also allows us to do this, which we've been wanting to do forever. But the logistics of being in the same place at the same time physically was never going to happen.
It definitely helps us out.
Yeah, let me shut this one down, and then I'll send you another invite, and we'll wrap up the show. It'll probably be the last 40 minutes. I imagine we can end it at that. We'll see. So I'll see you guys in a second.
Yeah.
All right, we will be right back. It is time to roll a motherfucking blunt. Perfect timing. It is incredible. Yo, Flea, what up, man? You're always late, but better late than never, that is for sure. It's crazy that Nice finally fucking showed up. What about ALC getting a Grammy nod? I have said it on my show 8 billion times, and I will say it again. Alchemist is the GOAT. I have always thought that, and I will always think that, and I think it is much deserved, and I couldn't be happier or prouder. I think it's incredible, and I hope they fucking win.
Yep.
And the gang's all here. I love it. Yo, so before we get back into football, shout out to Alchemist for getting a Grammy nod today.
Yeah, shout out to ALC, baby.
The GOAT. I've said it my entire life, and I will say it for the rest of my life. Al is the greatest of all time, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I do not care. So much deserved. You're just looking at a body of work that's like finally being recognized, like whatever.
Yep.
Everybody in the rap world is fucking Alchemist, dude. Like, forget about it. Like,
What's up?
it's fucking awesome. So yeah, the album he did with Freddie Gibbs got nominated for best rap album.
That's dope.
Freddie Gibbs' album is tough.
Yeah, so
Dope.
got a fighter's chance of winning that one in the rap category.
Yeah.
The only issue I see with it is Nas's album, this pseudo woke album that had like 2 songs about, social issues and whatnot, is also nominated. And
yeah,
with Hit Boy, and it's we know how the industry is. Nice.
Yeah. Nas is gonna.
But if you do know the industry,
and Hit Boy's on fire too.
If just to get that nomination is basically a victory.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that's basically a victory, because it's whoever wins is more of a political thing. But to get that nod, that's the real victory. So shout out, man.
Shout out to ALC, man. What's up, brother?
Yeah, it's the only award where even if you don't win, you put that on your resume.
Yeah.
Grammy nominated. Think of any other award that exists. No one does that. You're not Emmy nominated or Super Bowl.
No, you're Emmy nominated and Oscar nominated.
Really?
Yeah. You
well,
are.
see, that shows you how much I don't watch those shows.
Audiobooks, you're Audi nominated because you're letting them know. You're letting them know, like, yo, I'm in the game.
So what's the porn? What's the porn industry thing? Do
AVN.
Imagine, but
you want a Woody?
Yeah, you.
You're Woody nominated. You're Wood nominated.
Word. That's what's up. But anyway, shout out to Alchemist.
You won the Golden Grammy Award.
The black you won the Black Mamba Award. But anyway, shout out to Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs, man. That's incredible. I'm real happy for you guys.
ALC.
So let's jump into the game that I was going to right before I rolled this fucking blunt. And I texted Carrie, and I missed this game because I did not know that the Red Rifle was playing this week. I had no idea because I didn't check the rosters. I just was busy. And had I known he was going to play, I probably would have picked that one, because Minnesota has a way of not winning games that they should win. And the quarterback coming in, it's rally time. They have an extremely talented roster that's just being underutilized.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota did everything that they should have done to win. Kirk Cousins had over 300 yards. Dalvin Cook had over 100 yards. Adam Thielen had over 102 touchdowns. And Justin Jefferson had a touchdown catch. So it's just like, what the fuck else do you expect from that team?
Yeah, man, they just didn't get it done, man. It was one of those Chargers effect. They just do everything, get everything right, and then they just collapse at the end. It's just, it's something going on in Minnesota that we just don't know what's happening over there. Something's happening over there, and it's they just not. It hasn't been figured out what's going on over there. They have tools to win games, and they show up in certain games. They look the part in certain games, and then certain games they just like, I don't know. They just don't look like it.
Well, they're also really confusing because you get rid of Diggs, trade him away. Okay, all right. You maybe you think you can get a good asset in return, but then you trade for Ngakoue. You get him. You sign Ngakoue, and then you trade him away in the same season because Anthony Barr went down, Danielle Hunter went down. I get that. You let Rhodes walk in free agency. What was your thing? Were you tanking or were you trying to actually win? What's confusing because it seems like you were letting people go, trading people away. Some people got hurt, so you were like, okay, well, we're gonna tank now. But then you start playing harder after you let all these people go and all these people can't play. You start playing harder now, so we don't know who you are.
Yeah, this shit doesn't make any sense. I don't think.
What are you trying to do? It doesn't even make sense.
Who's their offensive coordinator?
You can make teams that tank, but at least you're like, well, they're trying to do something. I get it, but you're trying to be mediocre.
So is this another situation where there's like infighting inside the organization between who is it, Stefanski, or is that their offensive coordinator?
I don't know.
Stefanski. Wait.
Stefanski, isn't it?
Stefanski. No, Stefanski is the head coach in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, he was in Minnesota.
Yeah,
so who's the
when they went more run heavy to use Cook, which is when they started getting better. So this is a quarterback issue. This is a Kirk Cousins issue. Some people really like Kirk. Other people don't really like Kirk. Yeah. This is a Kirk Cousins issue. When you have a team like this that has really no identity, you don't know what they're doing, it's a quarterback issue. So if you know what you have in your quarterback and you trust your quarterback and you know that play action is their thing, let's make sure we get this offensive lineman. Let's make sure this run game is on tap. Let's do all that. Like, actually, for all the shit we talk about Dallas actually had that figured out. They had that part of it figured out. They just wasn't paying their quarterback. But, and it's very clear now because once their quarterback went down, they wasn't even running the rock. They weren't even running with Zeke. It was like,
oh, shit. Kerry, who's their offensive coordinator now? I hate this guy. Gary Kubiak.
Oh, Gary Kubiak.
Yeah, see?
What he does.
You see how we all reacted, Flea? See? Gary Kubiak has been in the NFL, mediocre in the NFL for like 20 years.
That makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
He ran Arian Foster out the league, and Arian Foster was balling for the Texans. Yeah. So right.
I mean, because getting rid of Stephon Diggs made absolutely no sense to me, but they did it.
I mean, if you knew for certain that you were going to get Justin Jefferson, then I can justify it.
First of all, they did not know that for certain.
I said if. That was a big if.
They lucked into that. But here's another thing. When you have two stud receivers, now if we look in the history of the league, two stud receivers is not a new thing.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. It's very rare.
John Stallworth and
Lynn Swann.
Yep.
And they won multiple chips together. Jerry Rice and John Taylor. No matter how you feel about John Taylor got busy. Okay? Point blank.
Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne was another group.
Harrison, Reggie Wayne. You have stud receivers who can play together, who can win chips together. You can make this shit work. Period.
So that's on a side note. Even though I hate them so much, that's why I think Pittsburgh is a serious threat for a Super Bowl because, dude, their receiving room is retarded.
Chase Claypool, baby.
It's not even Claypool. It's Deontay Johnson is now
Yeah,
Big
Deontay
Ben's
Johnson
favorite
because
receiver.
Deontay
he
Johnson.
kept getting hurt early in
Chase
his career.
Claypool, man.
He kept getting hurt, so we never knew who Deontay Johnson was. Now, in the age of Rona, when everyone's going down, he's the only one not going down. He's found strength in the pandemic. So, we haven't said Juju's name a lot this year.
Yeah.
We've said Deontay Johnson's name a lot.
Well,
We've
see,
said Claypool
here's
a
the
lot.
thing, though, and this is why Deontay Johnson is able to thrive. So if Chase Claypool comes in and just eats up the number one spot, and he's so big and physical, you have to put somebody on him, right? All right, so then you have Juju, who thrives at a number two, and if you don't cover him or focus on him, then he is going to get a buck and a touchdown. It's going to happen, right? So now you've got Deontay Johnson, who nobody had any tape on. He's been hurt the whole time. And he comes in, and now you have your nickel. If your nickel isn't covering your tight end, which they have Ebron, so you're gonna have somebody's gonna have to cover him. So now you've got at best your third corner on Deontay Johnson, and he is destroying everybody right now.
Yep.
And not just him. We got to talk about James Washington, the fourth.
Yeah,
The fourth
James
team.
Washington.
Easy.
James Washington is there too. So, Pittsburgh is a problem.
No, they're going. To me, Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl, and I hate to say it, but they have what Kansas City doesn't, and that's called defense.
Yeah.
So, and it's not only just defense, because we all know there is no defense in the NFL anymore. Look, we're talking about how good Indianapolis played defensively, and they gave up 31 points.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, they really they won that game, and they did. The defense won that game for them, but they still gave up 31. There's no Baltimore shutdown defenses anymore. So you're looking for somebody that can just put pressure on the quarterback, get a couple sacks, that's going to end drives, win some field position battles for you, and then get a turnover or two. That's it.
Like the way the offense has been playing this year versus the defense is, as a defense, if you can legit hold teams to 23 points, then you can win by 24 and win the game, because a lot of offenses are averaging about 24 or above, like the better teams, 24 and above. So if you can, as a defense, just hold them to 23, you would have an excellent record this year.
Look, Dice, just look at this week alone, because the Jets fall into this category. Just this week alone, there are 6 games, I think 7, if I'm not mistaken. 7 games where the losing team put up 24 or more points.
Yeah.
Like that's the new the new wave. That's the way it is. Like
the way it is it's no more, like you said, it's not really a lot of defense left. It's just who can make the right play at the right time. That's all it really is.
It's interesting. It'd be weird to be a defender in the NFL these days, because you're not really stopping anyone.
Yeah, and it's so much.
That'd be frustrating as hell.
Rules now. It's so much rules now. And referees throw so many flags. That's the problem. That's what's making the defense. It makes the defensive player play off the player. It's
with all these rule changes too.
He can't.
They got a lot more to look at now.
Want to be. I mean, you're saying that if I'm tackling the quarterback and this offensive lineman literally pushes me down into the quarterback and not tackle you, that's a penalty on me. It's tough.
I've seen it where they haven't called it.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a problem when they do call it, because it's not consistent.
Well, there's only one position on defense that even really you could still do you, and that's quarter, because you could just eliminate a wide receiver completely.
Yeah. But even then, even then, you can't really put your hands too much on the on the wide receiver because they call him pass
Well, I
interference.
mean, I think they're
That's
kind of
crazy.
used to it at this point, though. Nice, it's
You gotta
kind of
be
the way it
savvy though.
is.
Like the
Yeah,
savviest corners aren't getting those
Yeah,
calls.
they're just
They know where to put their hands. They know where to grab. They know
yeah,
they're adjusting to it. You're look at Jalen Ramsey.
right.
yeah.
Like I knew,
Jalen
I
Ramsey.
knew it, I knew it. I was like, it doesn't matter whoever he's on, he's going to
Yeah, I mean, but Jalen
neutralize them.
Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey is just different. He's
Well, even Marshawn Lattimore in New
yeah,
Orleans, whoever he's
Marshawn
playing,
Lattimore.
it's shutdown time. It's over for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, Marshawn Lattimore. Beasts. These guys are beasts. These guys are the top tier. You know.
And that's why,
Um.
that's why you're looking at Xavier Rhodes playing at a top tier level again in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. It's just like, oh, that's a huge piece of their defense because that's all it takes. You just need one guy who can cover somebody by himself. That's
Yeah.
it. It only
That's
takes
it.
one.
One. And then you can do any then you can do a lot of things with your defense because you're eliminating the top guy on their offense. You're
Well, I
eliminating the
mean, the
top.
only problem is if you have like if they play the Chiefs, because all right, so who the fuck is Jalen Ramsey's going to have to cover Travis Kelsey because he usually does cover tight ends. Like if
Oh yeah.
so another matchup problem for them would be the Raiders
It
because
would be the Raiders, yeah.
Jalen Ramsey's going to have to cover Darren Waller.
Yeah. And then you got Aguilar, you got my guy Henry Ruggs, baby.
Well, you got that Williams kid will have to cover one of them, so then you got the
Yeah.
other one that's going to eat. So that's that's
Yeah.
the problem. So it's once again the NFL, as always, is all about fucking matchups, and it always will be. Some teams just match up well against other teams, and it doesn't make any
Against other
fucking
teams,
sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, nice, you missed it. Me and Kerry were talking about that earlier. Green Bay might fuck around and lose this week against Chicago, even though Chicago's terrible, but Chicago's defense is really good,
Yeah.
and Green Bay can't
Yeah.
stop the run at all.
Yeah.
So,
At all. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they might lose this one. Or if they do win, it's gonna be real scrappy and it's gonna be by like 3.
I mean, it's getting cold out too, so
Yeah.
the other benefit that we have coming up this week as I flip it over to this week's schedule is we got Thursday football because it is Thanksgiving week.
Yep.
So Thursday, we got the traditionals playing. Fucking Dallas
Right.
and Detroit are always on. So we got
Yeah.
Houston at Detroit in the early game. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't even want to pick Detroit games anymore. I get them wrong every week.
Yeah.
Just go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Houston on this one.
Yeah, I got to go Houston with that one. I mean, Detroit clearly has a problem.
Well, also Deshaun Watson plays extremely well against Bill Belichick teams.
Yep.
And Matt Patricia is a bad clone of a Belichick team, so I think you guys are right. I think I'll rock with Houston on that one.
And not only that,
The Washington, the Washington Football Club against Dallas. God, I hate seeing Dallas every Thanksgiving. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's very annoying. But I think I'm gonna go with Dallas on this one. I think I'm gonna go with Dallas on this one.
I'm
man.
not. I hate Dallas, and I got this week's pick right against Cincinnati with Washington because Washington plays completely different with Alex Smith at quarterback. Completely
yes.
different.
Oh yes, I completely forgot that. Yeah, Smith is the quarterback.
Yeah, dude, they've been playing really well with it, very competitive with him. They got a victory. They were competitive the week before. It went down to the last drive, basically.
Yeah.
They got some young players too. It's interesting that they just missed on quarterbacks because that McLaurin kid from Ohio State is balling, and then Antonio Gibson is getting busy in the backfield. So
Yeah.
interesting. And then, the NFL has been blessing us with Thanksgiving evening games for the last few years. And this was a good one because this is where you put the final nail in Baltimore's playoff hopes. Baltimore minus Ingram and Dobbins at Pittsburgh.
Yep. At Pittsburgh. That's gonna be a good one. And we know Pittsburgh is gonna win that one. Going with Pittsburgh on that one.
I'm going with Pittsburgh, and then I'm also going with a mini collapse from Baltimore after this.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
they got
they're gonna dump it all on Lamar. We already know this. Even
Yeah.
missing two
Well,
major,
I think Greg Roman will probably lose his job after this season.
he's gonna have to
yeah.
because you have too many people on the Lamar train to then just hop off the Lamar train just yet. We know what his deficiencies are, but we also saw him be the MVP and be one of the most dynamic players in the entire league.
All right, so that reminds me of something. Both of you, do you think that this is now the Kaepernick effect with Lamar Jackson, where Kaepernick had one season where he absolutely balled out because nobody knew what to do with it yet, and then the second season came in and everybody game planned for it, and he sucked ever since then. Like,
Um,
No, I would say
I-
he came in late and they wasn't ready, and then the next season he still went to the NFC Championship.
that's what I'm saying. That one full season, he really balled out, especially in that playoff game against Green Bay. Like, absolutely dominated by himself. But the next year,
fans still hate him for that.
yeah, the next year he comes in, and then everybody's got that kind of their offense figured out, and it goes nowhere. And now it's put on his arm, which he doesn't really have that great of arm talent.
yeah,
Well, he has a strong arm. I'll say this though, because I think it also has to do with the Jim Harbaugh effect. You like if we even just look at what's happening in Michigan, like I feel like Jim, he'll give you like those first couple years, he will invigorate you.
You get 3.
Right. And then shit starts going south. So because even when Kaepernick came back in, I forget who was coaching San Francisco at the time. I'm sure they forget who was coaching San Francisco at the time too. And he had that game against I want to say the Dolphins, and he brought them all the way back, and all the players from the opposing team came up to him afterwards and was giving him props like, "Yo, you did your thing." Like,
Yo, Kerry.
So when you see professional shit like that, I was like, "Oh, okay." If he's just in another situation,
It was either Mike Nolan, but I think it might actually have been Greg Roman, which would be an odd.
It was a bigger. It wasn't Mike Nolan for sure.
It wasn't
and it wasn't Greg Roman. It was another name. I think it started with an M. It was like some offshoot name. It was like, who's this? Who's this guy? And it seems like a coach who would just show up in like a hooded sweatshirt, but not the hoodie, but just because
Interesting.
he would have to hold. Yeah.
Interesting.
It was some other guy, something, I forget.
All right, so moving on to Sunday, Vegas at Atlanta. That's an easy pick. Vegas is balling. They're playing really well. That's an easy one. Chargers at Buffalo. Well, the Chargers find ways to lose everything, but Justin Herbert's new haircut has proven to be 1-0 so far.
Private Pile Herbert?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he's not gonna get it against the Bills. Bills are too loaded.
It's in Buffalo too. It's gonna be really fucking cold. They got to travel across the country. No, and it's a 1:00 game. We know what that means. No good for you guys. I don't think Herbert's ever played in a cold climate either.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. It's gonna be the first one.
Yeah, I hope it snows. We'll see what he's really made of. This will be
It could
interesting.
be his first snow.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope someone takes pictures. It'll be special.
Private Pile.
It'll be special. I hate that they cut his hair. I hate that. He had such
No, he's straight up Private Pile. He's Private Pile from now on.
he had such luxurious hair too. Why the fuck would you do that, man?
So now, especially when the Chargers fuck up, he is Private Pile. Private Pile was always to blame. Like, oh, you want to eat those donuts? All right, go ahead, eat the donuts while everybody else has to do push-ups.
All right, so Kerry, your guys get an easy win this week because Joey Bag of Donuts isn't playing. So
Which is sad.
Yeah, I know.
wanted him to play.
yeah, I know we.
I wanted him to play.
Yeah,
I really
that's.
wanted him to play.
It sucks, but it's good for you guys in your playoff hopes. It keeps you in the hunt because, oddly enough, every team
I
in
don't
the
know that we don't
NFC,
beat him,
yeah,
but I just wanted to know we could.
every team in the NFC East is all tied at 3-7 right now. It's retarded.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're in there, baby. You're in the hunt.
We should get this victory. Let's not.
No. This is you.
Who's quarterbacking? Ryan Finley?
Yeah, no, you have to circle this. And Mixon's out for the rest of the year. He's on IR.
Oh, he's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so he's done. So who? AJ Greed is like a nod factor at this point.
That pretty much signed the death warrant to Joey Bad Boy Band.
Yeah,
as soon as Mixon went down for sure.
So it looks like this is going to be the game of the week. Tennessee at Indianapolis.
Oh, that's a good game.
7-3, 7-3 interdivisional. This is a good one.
That's a real good one. I'm going with Tennessee though. I think Tennessee is supposed to go.
Who they playing?
Indy.
I'm going with Tennessee.
Okay. That doesn't knock you off your pivot. I see.
It's all on Phillip Rivers' turnovers. The whole game's on him. 100%.
Yep. I got to think about that one.
Me too. That's a really good game, though. That's a good one. I'm definitely watching that one. 100%.
I'm definitely watching that. That's a really good one.
Oh my God, Carolina at Minnesota. How about I don't care either way?
Good word. I really don't.
I really don't care. Minnesota is another blown season with a great roster. Fuck you guys. Arizona at New England. Cardinals. Interesting though, because it's at New England. What if it's terrible weather?
Still going with Cardinals.
I don't
Too
know.
much weather.
What if it's really, really, really windy? Like really windy. Kyler's got small hands.
I don't know because like, regardless of what we say about New England, they practice in that weather, and it's just like you don't have to be that talented to just be used to something.
Yeah, nice.
I'm more used to it than somebody else.
I'm gonna have to wait to see. I have to see the weather report on that one because if there's like bad weather, I'm going with New England because his hands are small, dude, and I don't think he's ever played in conditions like that ever.
That's just what I'm saying. Like he's from Texas, he went to A&M, then he transferred to Oklahoma. Like they weren't really dealing with this, and now he plays in Arizona.
Yeah, man.
Something to consider.
This is different, and New England has figured out that Harris in the backfield is a stud. So let's just keep giving him the rock.
Oh my God, Harris is getting it.
Yeah,
Harris is getting it.
That one all depends on the weather because I don't care how good DeAndre Hopkins is. If there's 7 inches of snow and wind, and you can't get the ball, who fucking cares? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. So nice, your guys.
Cool.
Miami at the Jets.
Yeah. Miami gonna get it. We tanking right now.
I see. Look, this is what he wants now, though, Kerry. This is what he wants.
No. I appreciate someone who just names it. We tanking. Thank you.
That.
Okay. Cool.
We need that right now.
Good.
We need that now. I still look at it to see because I like Denzel Mims' game. I like his physicality and he has great hands, and he gets.
I'm not watching none of that garbage.
I like the way you were trying to sell it. Like it was great, but you don't work for none of the marketing teams.
And nice, you're not going to watch a single play unless you watch the Red Zone channel on a separate screen because they're playing at 1:00 and the
they about to score. They about to get scored on.
Oh okay. Wait, the Tennessee game.
Yeah, Tennessee and Indiana playing at 1:00. Man, you're not going to watch that fucking Jets game.
Yeah, it's over. I'm gonna see the highlights. I'll see the highlights. I'll look at the highlights.
No, you won't.
You better hope someone from Miami has a huge catch.
Yeah, that's about it. You'll get to see a Jets player defending somebody as they do something dope. It'll be cool. You get some screen time.
Watch Flacco throw for like 350. Watch him chuck it.
Now, see, this is why it's funny now because Nice wants them to lose, right? So then Flacco's about to get hot like Flacco does and go on a run and win like 3 games at the end of the year.
Chris Herndon's going to be one of the best tight ends at the back end of the season.
I would be so pissed off.
Adam Gase is going to save his job.
Oh, then
they're going to miss out on Trevor Lawrence.
Oh man, I would hate the Jets for that.
Justin Fields is going to stay in school, and you guys are going to stick with Flacco and Darnold for another year.
No, what's going to end up happening? Bengals going to lose out. They're going to miraculously get the number 1 pick. They're going to take Trevor Lawrence because they're like, well, damn, that's really bad, Joey. But Trevor,
It's Trevor. We could use you as trade.
Trevor time.
You didn't want to be here anyway, Joey. We'll help you out. What?
And then the Jets are going to be like, well, Joe Burrow's available, and then they're gonna get a one-legged Joe Burrow and see what he can do.
He's going. Yeah, because they're going to dub him as the next Broadway Joe. Oh, I can see it happening already. It's Broadway Joe 2.0.
Broadway Joe 2.0. And even, I mean, it rhymes perfect. So it's already laid out.
Yeah, it's happening.
Now we know Trevor Lawrence is going to the Bungles, and Joey Boy Band, you know what I'm saying? Broadway Joe 2.0. Going to be the new Jet. Congratulations. You got Joe Burrow.
I don't need any of that to happen.
It's all going to happen, but nice. It's cool, though. Just hit him up early. Hit him up now because you got the rental car business, man. You got all the fly cars and shit. He's going to be in town and shit, man. Just take care of the boy. Get ahead of the curve, nice. Go ahead and invest in some nice minks because you know he's going to want a mink for the sidelines.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want
Broadway Joe 2.0.
I love it. I love every second of it. Somebody put that on a T-shirt. I'm sending it to Nice.
Oh, man.
Oh, yo, this is crazy, yo. So Cleveland is going to end up making the playoffs because they're not really that good, but they just keep getting – they play Jacksonville this week. They're just going to line up and get these W's enough to get in.
That's
going to be an ugly game.
It is because Cleveland's going to have to run the football, and Jacksonville's defense plays hard. And it's in Jacksonville, so it's going to be humid. And this late in the year, it always happens – a team from a cold town in November and December goes down to Jacksonville or Miami, like New England always lost in Miami, and you're not used to it being 90% humidity out there, and you're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, but I'm still going with Cleveland on that one.
Yeah, I'm still going with Cleveland. All they got to do, you know, that run game, man.
All right, so New Orleans at Denver. So here's the next question. Kerry, I called it last week, and I asked if Tua was going to be affected by the altitude because people who have never played there, quarterbacks, lose there. It always happens. It always happens. So it's going to be interesting to see how Taysom Hill performs in that altitude, considering he also runs an awful lot. If he's going to be able to handle it.
So he's played against Utah. It's not foreign to him.
All right, so you're right, Kerry. So I'm going with New Orleans on that one then because Denver sucks and I hate Drew Lock.
Yeah.
San Francisco at the Rams. The Rams are actually really talented. That's an easy pick. San Francisco's too beat up.
Yeah, too beat up.
Kansas City at Tampa. Does Tom lose 2 in a row?
I don't think so, man. I don't think it's gonna happen, man.
I don't trust Tampa to implement the game plan.
See, Nice. We all know that Tampa can win.
Yeah,
right.
We just don't know if they will.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
like the way Cleveland finally listened to us. Whether they were listening or not, don't know if Tampa's listening to us. They need to.
I hope they need to.
You have plenty of teams out there that do not have one talented running back that are running the ball way more than you. It doesn't even make sense that y'all not running the ball. It doesn't even make sense.
And you literally have, and I don't care if he is a shell of him former self, you have an offensive tackle at tight end blocking. Gronk is the best blocking tight end in the history of football by a mile.
I love to block.
And it's by a mile. It's not even close who's second to him as far as blocking ability from tight ends.
I cram to understand what the fuck you're doing. Like I don't get
and honestly, Kerry,
it reminds me of this. It reminds me of Pete Carroll trying to force Russell Wilson to throw the ball when you have beast mode right there.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And you know what it does.
Like, just fucking hand off.
And
I
you
don't give a fuck what else you got.
Well, Nice. You also know that the game plan has been shown, unless you're the Raiders, because the Raiders' game plan is just to get into a shootout, and it worked. They've split, and they've almost won. You know, they almost won both of them, so it's working. But the game plan is against a team like that: run the ball, control the clock, limit their opportunities. So you're going to have to fucking run the ball. And we all know what Tom Brady does after a loss, because every time Tom Brady loses a game, it's always his fault, no matter what. It's all him, and he knows that. He played terrible. Any incompletion, always done. People have been saying he's done for the last 13 fucking seasons. So he's used to this shit. So that's going to be a good fucking game. And that's another reason why there's only like 3 games at 4 o'clock, because everybody on the planet's going to be watching that one. That's why there's 9 games at 1 o'clock. I get it. So Chicago at Green Bay. Tricky game to pick. Tricky.
Yeah, very tricky. Very tricky game to pick.
Very tricky. It's really looking like what the health of Chicago's running back room is looking like. Who's starting, who the backup is, and that's it for me, because just run the ball against them. I wouldn't even throw it once unless you want to get Allen Robinson involved somehow. Just run it every fucking play. They can't stop it. Who cares? Who cares?
Yep.
That's an iffy one to pick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would even do a tight end reverse with old ass Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Why not? Every other team is doing it. Tight end reverse. Why not?
I still think Green Bay might come through though.
They should. If you're really a playoff caliber team, you're supposed to beat these teams that are like.
But they also shouldn't have lost to Minnesota.
Exactly. So Seattle at Philly on Monday night. That's easy. Philly sucks. They're terrible. It's over for Carson Wentz. Interesting. It's just a couple big games, and really that's it. The rest of them is just. There's no like playoff caliber teams playing each other. They're all playoff teams who are playing teams that they're supposed to beat.
Outside of Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Well, there's like I said, the good.
Indianapolis.
There's 3 games, and those are the games that everyone's going to watch. Every other game is it's teams who are either just like you're either vying for playoff positioning or vying for draft positioning, and that's hilarious because these teams are going like this. It's been a weird fucking year.
In some sort of position.
Yeah, it's been a weird year. The positioning thing is really key this week for Tampa Bay after losing that game that they could not. Because I know in the back of their minds they're thinking, all right, that Kansas City game is going to be way harder than that Rams game, so we should probably try to focus getting this Rams victory. And then when you're playing Kansas City and you're at Tampa Bay's level, you're thinking to yourself, well, if we win, good for us. But if we lose, we'll probably see them again in the Super Bowl. If we make it there, it's probably going to be them. So,
prime example, when the G's lost to New England, the final game of the season, I said, I'm not even worried about it. We're going to see them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you knew
I
it.
said that day.
I knew it.
I'm like, I'm glad. Okay, cool. So when we see them in the Super Bowl, cool. That's exactly how I felt. And that's how every player on the Giants felt, especially after Michael Strahan gave the post game interview, and some chick asked him if it was a moral victory. He was like, "There's no such thing as moral victories." And I was like, "Ooh, okay."
So nice. It's nice if the Jets lose. Is that a moral victory?
Yes.
See, there is such thing as a moral victory, and that's why nothing here is black and white or gray matter. And
no moral victories.
If the Jets lose, you're going to be so mad if they win this week.
Yes.
You're going to be so mad. You're going to be so mad then what we said earlier plays out in real time. It's going to be hilarious. I'm glad that YouTube saves all of these because I'm going to send this to you when this happens. And then,
I hope it does that.
Trust me. I felt, listen, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to tell you from last year, feeling that pain, when I finally accepted that my team was going to lose, and I was like, okay, well, we could at least get the number 2 pick. Let's lose. And then Danny Dum Dum has the game of his life, looks like Joe Montana against Washington. And I was like, oh, you just really? So we just saw Chase Young transfer from our hands right into Washington's hands. We watched the game, and every Giants fan I was with was just like,
nice. It's going to happen. Just learn to accept it.
It's going to happen for you too in the last game of the season, just like it happened for me.
Nice. You can do what I've done. Just stop being fans of teams. Just, everyone's your guy. Just
if this happens, I'm officially leaving.
I'm rooting for you guys.
We need Trevor Lawrence. You need Trevor Lawrence, man.
I can't wait till it doesn't happen. So
you have Broadway Joe 2.0 coming? It's already set.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Broadway Joe 2.0. He's gonna have one leg.
I
It's
don't
gonna
want
be all right.
to
Dude, the marketing campaign is going to be incredible. I can't wait. There's going to be so many commercials on Broadway and all.
Incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait. You should see if you can do some writing for those commercials and shit. Nice, try to get that check.
Get paid, son. Do a couple jingles. Get paid.
All right, yo. So nice. I appreciate you showing up for a change. It's awesome to have both you guys here. Carrie, as always, I appreciate it. We will see what happens. You guys have a good Thanksgiving. That is Thursday. Yo, T's and P's to the coach out in Dallas, man, who apparently had a heart attack or a seizure this morning in the weight room. Who knows? I don't know if you heard about that. Nice. One of their coaches had a heart attack in the weight room. Their strength coach or something, and almost died. So yeah,
Wow.
craziness going on. It's the Roni Man 2020. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, you guys know we'll be in touch, Carrie. You know, we'll get it in.
And what it is?
Yeah, Carrie, you're now down 8. It's either 7 or 8.
I got some work to do. Oh, good.
There's some work to do, but it's another weird week, so who knows? Who knows? Whatever. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, but
I'll-
out.
All right, so yeah, man, Nice showed up. That's always dope when he shows up, man. So I'm gonna go eat some nachos because I've smoked like 3 blunts. As always, RIPP 333. I appreciate you guys. Flea, what up, homie? And we'll see you next week.